Palma. Oh,
Oh, man.
that's unfair, and Palma 7 points in the game.
To Del Fuentes.
Oh, wow.
Delgado makes the shot and knocks it down. Malonia is open. 3-pointer.
Oh, my goodness!
Face a jumper by Robin Celis. Nataliano has time. Now it's Martin Rosso. Turnaround jumper. Oh my goodness.
For the fourth time this season, the Parañaque Patriots will try to defend their home court, itong Olivares College Gymnasium in the city of Parañaque. But they will take on Papa Cheats, Chito Jaime, who's been defying Father Time and putting spectacular numbers para dito sa tropang Pasig. They will take on the comebacking J-Boy Solis, trying to pilot Parañaque to a win here this evening. It's the Pasig City taking on Parañaque Patriots in the third game of our Tuesday triple header. This is the Marlica Pilipinas Basketball League, ang liga ng bawat Pilipino. Ken Panglinan with Javi Palanya, and at courtside we have Miss Lyra Punsalan. Obviously, Javi, the big story, Coach Mike Sagigit has gone over to Caloocan, but you know, the contributions of Coach Mike hindi matatawaran para dito sa Parañaque.
Of course, syempre, he led Parañaque to an unprecedented semifinal appearance in the Southern Division playoffs last year. But he will be replaced in this game by Coach Stephen Mopera, who has been Coach Mike's assistant for so long already. Kaya we expect some continuity coming in with Coach Stephen Mopera as the new head coach of the Parañaque Patriots.
And Parañaque will add on to a new chapter dito sa 7th season ng ating MPBL. And of course, yung watching us live on our official Facebook page and YouTube channel, and also on Solar Sports every Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays starting at 6 p.m. Ngayon, pag-usapan natin yung kalaban nila muna, no? Itong Pasig City. We covered this game, Javi. We were in the Montalban, Rizal. They took on Bataan. And this was a game, Javi, where they were trailing by 10 points, 77-67 in regulation. But the big story here was the big freeze of Pasig City, especially down the stretch.
Chito Jaime, Jerome Garcia, Robbie Manalang, those three guys were able to burn the nets in timely fashion for Team Pasig in that game. Many people were already counting them out, but they were still able to force overtime. Robin Manalang hitting that clutch three in the final minute to tie the game at 80 all before outscoring the Risers 8-5 in extra session, with Chito Jaime hitting a clutch three to make it 87-85, and then the free throw to seal the deal. You look at the numbers here, 35.2%, not really much of a good percentage, but the time when they were about to hit their shots, that was what went well para sa Pasig City. Towards the latter part, dun sila nakakuha ng magagandang tira.
And Pachits was really spectacular, especially in the fourth quarter and overtime in that big win against Bataan. He was facing his former team and he's a homegrown dito sa Bataan, and he really took it to heart yung kanyang performance dito laban sa Bataan Risers.
23 points, 14 in the fourth quarter. In overtime, a lot of his shots were really crazy makes. Most of them with defense draped all over him. He even had a couple, I think, where he was able to knock it down over two guys. What a vintage performance by Chito Jaime in this game. Pasig hopes that he could extend the momentum that he had in that game to this game against Parañaque, where they will be going up against the home team.
And they were able to snap a 5-game losing skid, but now they will take on the Parañaque Patriots. They were successful at home in their previous outing, but here they traveled to Binyan, lost to Muntinlupa here, and the Cagers simply were just unstoppable, especially on offense.
Yeah, they're actually already on a 3-game losing streak right now. Itong Parañaque Patriots, after that win against Cebu, they haven't been able to turn the tide. They were blown out here by the Muntinlupa Cagers. Allowed 15 3-point makes for Muntinlupa, only scoring 5 of them, and they got beat on the glass 56-45, as well as in transition 14-25. These are areas of concern for new head coach Stephen Mopera, which he hopes that he can address quickly in this game against the hungry Pasig City team.
And in that game against Muntinlupa, they played without the services of J-Boy Solis, JP Calvo, and it was Alvin Capobres who had to step up, provided that scoring punch, and also grab those rebounds para dito sa Parañaque.
Well, if you're Parañaque, that's a good sign that you have Alvin Capobres being able to get this kind of game para sa Patriots, because it's been a slump for him to start this season, and for him to get 20 points, you hope that this could be a start of good things to come para kay Alvin Capobres individually for his team.
Second double-double performance this season para dito kay Alvin Capobres. And now it's time for our main game, Pasig City kontra Parañaque. Let's go to Miguel Perez for the starters.
And here we go, mga kaliga, with our main game here at the Olivares College Gym in Parañaque City. It's Pasig City versus Parañaque Patriots on the 2025 Manny Pacquiao's MPBL Season 7. Let's carry on the starting fives, beginning with Pasig City. Starting at guard, number 11, Keith Pido. Also at guard, number 7, Robbie Manalang. Coming in at center, number 6, Lester Reyes. Forward, number 10, Mark Montuano. Also at forward, number 28, Chito Jaime. Their head coach is Aldrin Morante. Assistant coaches, J.R. Villanueva, Lance Inco, and Richard Rosales. Team owner, Mr. Buddy Encarnado. And now, mga kaliga, get on your feet, because it's time to meet the starting unit of your Parañaque Patriots. Starting at guard, number 12, Jasper Cuevas. Center, number 34, Lander Cannon. Forward, number 17, Alvin Capobres. To guard, number 37, from Barangay San Dionisio, Paulo Castro. And the other forward, number 41, also from Barangay San Dionisio, J-Boy Solis. The head coach for the Parañaque Patriots is Stephen Mopera. Assistant coaches, Franklin Mancho, Tyrone Ruiz, and Syke Miguelino. Team managers, Joel Mendoza. Team owners, Jamal Vizcarra.
Starting five brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. 1xBet, your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet. The visitors, Pasig City, with the lineup of Keith Pido, Robbie Manalang, Lester Reyes, Mark Montuano, and Chito Jaime. Mangunguna para sa home team, Jasper Cuevas, Paulo Castro, Lander Cannon, J-Boy Solis, and Alvin Capobres. Our game officials for today, Jay Castroverde, Edgar Alpes, Karina Martin, and substitute referee Manuel Binondo. The tip going to the side of the guys in white, Pasig City. Keith Pido playing his former team in today's ball game. Starting things out for Pasig City. Montuano fakes. Nahanap si Chito Jaime. The up fake. Oh, great extra pass. Papunta kay Lester Reyes. Great way to start.
Pasig City coming in with almost the same set of starters that they've had, except for Christian Rivera and Rocky Asidre. Keith Pido came off the bench in that game against Bataan, but he has started most of the games for Pasig City this season. Nice to see Robbie Manalang comfortable once again starting games here for the Pasig City squad.
Shot clock winding down. J-Boy Solis puts one up, no good. And a stop to begin and a basket earlier by Pasig City. Robbie Manalang also hit big shots down the stretch for Pasig. Pido. Great screen by Montuano, but that shot ends up with a miss.
Pido, interestingly, only played 5 minutes against the Bataan Risers and really smart playing time. But that was because Robbie Manalang, Christian Rivera actually also had a good game in that match. We're really holding the fort in the backcourt para sa Pasig City.
Pero down the stretch kasi ang namayani na dun si Jerome Garcia, Robbie Manalang. You got Montuano, Chito Jaime in there. But that says a lot about this Pasig City team na, they have a lot of players capable of contributing, and if they could really click at the right time, baka makabutas din sila dito and put in a string of wins.
Yeah, the constant thing lang naman with this Pasig City team is expect definitely most playing time to go to that guy, Chito Jaime, Robbie Manalang, and Mark Montuano. These three guys really are the most important players on this team this season.
Foul given up as Capobres drove strong to the basket.
Chito Jaime, you give him that amount of space. I mean, he's able to knock down shots in front of two defenders. What more, just a singular guy in front of him in Alvin Capobres.
Coach Mike is here with JP Sarao. Those two were really instrumental last season in piloting Parañaque to the playoffs and also won. That was an upset against Zamboanga in the first round before succumbing to Quezon in the South Division semifinals.
So this is still his home court. Still the head coach of the Olivares College Sea Lions.
Manalang stops on the dime. That one rolls out. Castro with the rebound. Paulo Castro, bounce pass. Lander Cannon. Out of control on that shot though. Tatakbong Pasig City. Keith Pido. Mark Montuano gets clipped but makes the shot anyway, plus a foul.
Now he's very strong with that basketball. Trailing the play, getting it on the run, and deciding to stop and pop for that perimeter jumper. Look at the focus there from Mark Montuano.
Completes the three-point play. 8-1 start for Pasig City. Almost 3 minutes gone by in the first quarter. Jasper Cuevas. Let's see how this five will perform as we see Solis knock down a shot just inside the arc.
That's their first field goal here in the first quarter. Solis coming in back into the starting lineup for Kevin Buenaflor. Parañaque has been the worst offensive team in the league this season, only averaging 61.9 points per game.
So titignan mo yung second worst, yung distance nila napakalayo eh.
Yeah, they're separated by 8 points.
And they haven't, I think it's just one time they eclipsed the 70-point mark. Assist of the game brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. Your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet.
And you wouldn't expect it, especially from the makeup of this team. Lots of veterans, lots of capable scorers, especially when they had CBC to start the season. It's just really the way of how things were coming together para sa kanila. They formed the team just a few days before their first game. So not a lot of practice time, not a lot of time to build chemistry. And also, you know, having to understand the system of Coach Mike Sagigit and now Coach Stephen Mopera. It's really a process that Parañaque had to go through late. That's why maybe the growth is also coming in late para sa kanila, but they hope it comes sooner than later.
2 more points for Mark Montuano. Actually, I have to correct myself. They haven't eclipsed the 70-point barrier this season. The most points that they've had was their win here kontra sa Cebu Classic, 69-56. And in their last 2 games, only 53 points against Batangas and only 60 against Muntinlupa. Keith Pido puts his head down. Oh, draws a foul against Jasper Cuevas. Ang alam nyo, nakaisa siya dun eh. These two guys, former teammates. Not sure if nag-abot sila sa perpetual, no?
Hindi na yata.
Hindi na, no? Much older to si Keith.
Yeah. But for sure, they know each other.
Tsaka lahat naman yan, mga naging under Coach Mike. They all had that sort of connection, as we would like to thank, of course, LGR, the official outfitter of the MPBL. 14-5 is the count. Alvin Capombres thought about it, puts it on the deck, attacks Chito Jaime, and Jaime will be called for that blocking foul. Hindi, si Montuano pala. We have a timeout requested by Parañaque. With 4 minutes and 41 seconds remaining, they trail by 9, 14-5. Will return after the short break.
Coach Aldrin Morante of Pasig City is all smiles after that big win against Rizal. A much-needed boost not just in the team standings but more importantly in team morale. Masaya ako kasi binigay ng team yung best nila. He said proudly, lahat sila nag-effort at nakita ko yun. And though he's happy with the result, Coach Aldrin continues to remind his team to stay grounded and keep on grinding. Walang titigil. This is just one win at dapat tuloy-tuloy ang effort. With renewed confidence and tighter chemistry, Pasig City is slowly finding its rhythm, and Coach Aldrin believes this group has only just begun to show what they're capable of. Back to you guys.
Maraming salamat, Lyra. And that was a huge win over Bataan. Prior to that, they were in the midst of a 5-game losing streak. And ganda kasi ng simula nila eh. They racked up 2 wins to begin the season. And it's really tough when you get into that slump, Javi. But they were able to restore order. And despite falling down by 10 points late in the fourth quarter, they were able to weather the storm and pull through.
Matindi rin naman yung mga naging kalaban nila in that losing streak that they had. They lost to Quezon, to Davao, Zamboanga, Pampanga, and then Binyan. But most of these games were actually close, except for that game against Pampanga and Zamboanga where they were down by double figures. But you could see that there's always a fight being shown by Pasig City. Hindi sila basta-bastang magpapatalo. You could always see them trying to make an effort to overcome whatever hole that they found themselves in. That's why the second half, very crucial parate para sa kanila because that's gonna make or break them.
Kahit yung talo nila, actually their very last loss against Binyan, they fell down by as many as 15 points in that game. But they were able to make a game out of it. In fact, they were just trailing by 3 late in the fourth quarter. Pero yung experience, yung nanaig para sa Binyan doon. But nag-carry over Javi in that game against Bataan. As we see that shot knocked down by Dave Moralde, kakapasok lang ang pagagad.
Found himself wide open underneath. But yeah, correct. You know, because sa Pasig City naman kasi there's still a lot of young guys on this team, and sometimes Coach Aldrin likes to go with a young 5 to end his games. So, and also the fact that they haven't played together for a long time also speaks for itself. Siyempre, hindi lang naman dahil puro veterano yung nasa sahig, ma-expect mo na magde-deliver parate.
Play of the game brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. Your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet.
Sometimes it's just really more about being comfortable playing with the guy next to you.
J-Boy, all net on the first free throw. Those are his averages. J-Boy Solis. Coach Aldrin Morante looking on. Task to guide Pasig City. 2 for 2 at the line for J-Boy. Papasok sa loob. Si Kevin Buenaflor. Papalitan niya muna si Paulo Castro. 5-point lead. Robbie Manalang. Side steps to the right. That shot will not fall. Long rebound ends up with Keith Pido. Swing pass, Chito Jaime. He attacks. Oh, the left-handed finish for Chito Jaime.
I mean, attacking the closeout there, Chito Jaime. I was expecting a nice shot block from either Lander Cannon or J-Boy Solis, but Chito Jaime stretching and scoring against the long arms of the defense.
Nakaagaw si Alan Mangahas. Tatakbo sila dito. They have the numbers. Dave Moralde, great rim run using his left hand for the layup.
It's just really a pity that Dave's had to deal with a number of injuries over the course of his career that has deteriorated his athleticism, but used to be one of the best finishers in the NCAA. Ito si Dave Moralde.
Now fighting off a screen, he draws an offensive foul on Lester Tamayo. Fast break of the game brought to you by Extreme X Pop, personal karaoke speaker, everyday karaoke.
Defense to offense, and Alan Mangas leading the break there para sa Parañaque. You love to see it when Alan's playing defense.
Warlo Batak nasa loob na para dito sa Pasig. J-Boy elects to take that free and makes it. He loves this venue, Olivares College.
He's given this particular school a number of championships and has won a number of MVP trophies during his time here. Very much familiar with the court he's playing in right now.
Mangahas using that Saitanan screen. Off the lift, Solis from the other side, too strong. Keith Pido, outlet. Chito Jaime, the cut by Warlo Batak, and that's a part of his growth. If he develops that kind of repertoire, ito si Warlo Batak, maganda yan para sa Pasig Javi.
Siyempre, he's a wing player. When he's in that lane, you will be going up against guys taller than you. You're not always going to be able to out-jump the guy in front of you. That time a little out of control though.
Yung layup lang, medyo dispalinghado doon. Natapik, but Moralde recovers. Oh, Saitanan took that free and it's way off. Keith Pido slides. Oh, that's a silky looking jumper from Keith Pido.
Always had a good mid-range game. Ito si Keith Pido. And if you're at nobody to pass to, I'm gonna take it myself. That's Keith Pido.
6 ang lamang ng Pasig City, 34 seconds remaining. Moving screen against Jesse Saitanan. Merong timeout na hiniling si Coach Aldrin Morante with 31 seconds remaining. His team up by 6 points, 20-14. We'll pause for a break. Special deal from 1xBet. Scan a QR code and claim your special offer. About a 7-second differential in shot clock and game clock. Christian Rivera is in, as well as Rocky Asidre. Warlo Batak recovers. What a poor pass. Turnover. Steal by Peñaflor. Shot clock is off. James Mangahas to Dave Moralde. Back to James. Mangahas fires. No. Alan gets the offensive rebound and gets the bounce just to beat the buzzer.
Right place at the right time. The snake Alan Mangahas putting himself in the opportunity to get the offensive rebound.
And we see Pasig City got off to a good start. They were up 14-5 behind those baskets by Chito Jaime. But Parañaque game surging back. J-Boy Solis found his stroke, especially from the outside. And as a result, they made this a more manageable margin. Warlo Batak came off the bench and was providing the goods para dito sa Pasig. And they're up by 4 at the end of quarter number 1. This is our player matchup. It's Mark Montuano taking on Alvin Capobres. Obviously, these two guys playing different positions, heavy, but equally potent in their roles.
Mark Montuano has been one of the key players for Pasig City this year. May not be averaging a lot of rebounds compared to Alvin Capobres, who has 7.8. But that's because the rebounding really falls on the shoulders of guys like Lester Reyes. Montuano is expected to score the rock para sa Pasig City, while Alvin Capobres only averaged 9 points per game this year. You need him to score much more. We know that he can.
Dapat double figures talaga siya para dito sa Parañaque. Especially, they're playing tonight without JP Calvo. We're uncertain about the status of Carl Brian Cruz. And itong Parañaque, they began the season. You know, when we look at the lineup, Javi, before they got into their first game, on paper, parang this could be a contender again. But, you know, for some strange reason, they have really fallen down to earth as we see Rocky Asidre drill in a free to open up the scoring here in the second quarter.
It's because it's been difficult for them to really find a groove when a lot of players are in and out of the roster. And ilang beses pa lang naman kayo nagpa-practice before the start of the year. It was really difficult for them.
Nalibre. Si Chito Jaime lays it up and in. Back to a 9-point lead for Pasig.
This is where it gets tricky para sa kanila. Now they have much more time under their belts playing with each other. But maybe, you know, having a new coach might just push themselves forward in this season and find the groove that they were looking for.
Strong take by Christian Rivera. They go to the line for 2 shots. We'll check out now this fast break the game brought to you. Next Remix Play on the go speaker. Pick your music anywhere.
Forward pass made by Rocky Asidre to Chito Jaime, who's had a good start for himself, picking up from where he left off in the last game. Medyo malamig rin siya nung umpisa against Bataan. Compared to here, this is a nice sign for Pasig City. Might be another good scoring night for Papa Cheats.
Christian Rivera missed on his first free throw, but is shooting 92.3% at the line this season prior to that miss. Ooh, 0 out of 2. Moralde pulls it back out. Mangas hit a shot earlier. This time, he dishes it out to Dave Moralde. That one rolls out. Rivera will set up the table for Pasig City. Warlo Batak. This is a big lineup right now for Pasig. Such a luxury for them as we see Tamayo slide in and score.
It's proper execution in the offensive set for Pasig City. A simple play that was finished in a staggered for Rocky Asidre, and then the middle ball screen that involved Lester Tamayo as well.
Rivera. Oh, steps into a three-pointer. No good. Tamayo was there using his left hand for the deuce.
It's not really his strength yet. He hasn't shown that he has the touch from the outside. Ito si Christian Rivera, but he can bring you so much more intangibles. Just his presence brings a lot of impact para sa Pasig City, especially on the defensive end. Look how he's being pesky here against Mangas.
James, falls down, lost his footing as he absorbed contact from Lester Tamayo. As we check out the play of the game brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. Your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet.
The defense was right there. Parañaque was able to get in front of each Pasig City player on that play. Kaya lang Tamayo didn't really have much resistance. Didn't feel much contact on that shot. Too easy para sa kanya.
Timaho stopped in his tracks by Lester Tamayo. Sunod-sunod yung foul ni Lester Tamayo. That's already his third foul.
Tamayo has been playing great here in this second quarter para sa Pasig City.
Fresh 14 on the shot clock. Lander Cannon gives it to Alan Mangas, who fires. left it short. Rivera, magtitimon para dito sa Pasig City. Isidre sa bandang kaliwa. Launches a three, no good. Tapikan ng bola. Mapupunta kay Deo Timaho. Forward pass to Lander Cannon. Gives it back out to Alan Mangahas. That was originally intended to Timaho. Now it's Solis all day to shoot. And buries a free.
Can't leave him wide open, especially here.
Had 21 points in that win against the Cebu Classic. Hit a plethora of threes. Rivera. Quick passing. Now is Isidre. Top of the key. Free. Binawi. Yung tres.
One of the best shooters that Pasig has this season. Ito si Rocky Isidre.
Timaho way off. Rivera puts his head down. Goes all the way for the layup.
Boy, wow. Just full steam ahead. Ito si Christian Rivera. The ability to be fast with the rock, that's quite difficult, especially for a guard his size.
Bakers doesn't lead for Pasig City. Pull up. When the floor does not work. Marlo Batak sees daylight. Kissing it off the glass and in.
Even if you force him into a tough angle, sailing out of bounds, and you bump him still, ganyan kalakas yung pangangatawan niya. And that touch he's been showing us to start this game.
7-0 run for Pasig City. Solis. Oh, a travel. Could not believe the call.
I think it was a late call. It definitely happened on the jab step. Isidre there knocking down that jumper.
That shot brought to you by Extreme. That three-point shot brought to you by Extreme. Your one-stop shop appliances.
Even with the hand in his face. Nice high arcing shot from top of the circle.
15 ang lamang ng Pasig City. Pwede pa nila dagdagan yan on this possession. Still a lot of time left in quarter number 2. Christian Rivera steps back. The midi is working right now for Christian. 38-21. This lead has swelled up to 17. Deo Timaho, mid-range. Wala. Tapikan. Montuano bouncing it off the shoulder of Lander Cannon.
Nice heads-up play there by Mark Montuano. And Rivera and Cannon getting into it a bit here.
Rivera trying to stick up to his teammate. Si Mark Montuano, tinamaan kasi kanina doon. Now it's Mark against Cannon. No backdoor available, so nilabas muna kay Rocky Isidre. Bounce pass inside, Lester Reyes at tapikan sa baba.
Yeah, that's off his foot.
Bola babalik sa panig ng Parañaque. The offense continuing to be a problem for the Parañaque Patriots. 4 minutes and 24 seconds left. They're down by 17. Next 3 games of Pasig City, May 26 against the Batangas City Tanduayro Masters, June 2 versus Quezon City Galleries Taipan, and on the 6th of June, they will take on the Val City Magic. And Coach Alvin Morante and the rest of the guys trying to notch back-to-back victories before that tough game kontra sa Masters.
Batangas City coming off morale-boosting victory themselves earlier.
Pero medyo nahirapan din sila against Sarangani. Sarangani was able to cut that lead down to 6 after trailing by as many as 20 points. Foul will be called on that offensive trip by Parañaque. 2 shots will be given to Lander Cannon. Cannon at the line. Sablay yung kanyang unang tira.
Despite not having a lot of wins for Parañaque this season, Lander Cannon thrust into his role as the main big man para sa Patriots this season. He's been doing a pretty good job at it.
Stops that 9-0 run by Pasig City. 38-22. Robbie Manalang returning here. Rivera jacking up that shot. Rebound ends up with J-Boy Solis. A lot of ground to cover for Parañaque. Jasper Cuevas gets in the paint. What a move! Able to pirouette himself inside.
Very methodical in the way that he broke down the defense. Simpleng-simple lang. Little dribble spin and then the up and under.
Lester Reyes. Binigay kay Rocky Asidre. Pupukol. Sablayan. Napunta kay Alvin Capobres. Running start for him. Capobres goes right at Rivera. But Rivera pokes it loose. The pass inside. Reyes, the score.
I love it when he is on the break and he gets that ball. He just knows what to do. The decision making on point para kay Christian Rivera.
Kumbaga sa all around sarsa to si Christian Rivera.
Mismo.
Eto, pinakitaan tayo sa depensa naman. Rivera, oh, the double cross. But Capobres staying right in front of him.
He's not going to force it. Wise decision. They're up by 16 right now. Absolutely no need to rush in getting baskets.
Manalang missing on a free. Cuevas, great pass. Capobres though could not handle the rock. That ball will stay on the side of Parañaque. Mixer, great move the game. Born for greatness.
See here against the bigger Lester Reyes, and look how he was able to back him down. Just very simply taking a couple of dribbles into the shaded area in one fake and then the basket.
Jasper Cuevas. Binigay kay J-Boy Solis. Jess Kilatan, kakapasok lang, grabs a rebound. Montuano trying to power through. Solis though, able to get a block.
Yan yung advantage ni J-Boy Solis. Di man siya ganun kakapal in terms of the heft, but those long arms helping him defend these other big men in the league. And don't be fooled by him. He may look thin to si J-Boy Solis, pero tigas din yan.
Oh. Under 2 minutes remaining here. That's a shot from Timahod. That will not work though. Paulo Castro. Libre si Timaho, but Castro able to slide inside for the layup. 40-26 is the count. 14-point lead. Kilatan, ninabas kay Montuano. Wala pa din. Solis grabbing another rebound. Cuevas kicks it out to J-Boy. Against Lester Reyes. They swing it to Paulo Castro. Castro, specialty of the house. Asidre and J-Boy kanina pa nagkaagirian dito. 67 seconds remaining here in the second frame. Chito Jaime returning here for the final minute. Mark Montuano against Lander Cannon. Gets it to Chito Jaime. Little bit of daylight is all he needs to bury another free.
He had extended minutes on that bench, got a lot of rest, and when he came in fresh again to try and shoot some baskets.
Parañaque in dire straits, down by 17. Cannon forcing that one up. That was textbook defense by Pasig City.
To the delight of Coach Alden Morante on that Pasig City sideline, and that enables him to sue for time for what could be the final possession of Pasig City here in the first half.
Magbabalik kami after this timeout. About a 4-second differential between shot clock and game clock. As Pasig City, they have mapped out the play that they will try to run in this possession. Pilatan, Robbie Manalang, Mark Montuano, Rocky Asidre, and Chito Jaime, the 5 on the floor for Tropang Pasig. Pilatan against Cuevas. Almost lost it. Robbie Manalang puts it up. No. Oh, that shot clock violation will be called against Pasig.
Coach Alden is not happy with Mark Montuano right now, but Parañaque did a good job maybe anticipating something that was drawn up for a man-to-man play, and instead they went to a zone, which I think confused Pasig City's execution.
Quick pass. 1 second left. Solis almost got it. But that's going to be the end of the first 2 quarters. Parañaque was able to mount a comeback, but Pasig City pushing the right buttons, and Chito Jaime again picking up from where he left off. 12 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, and 71.4 shooting percentage from the field. And his team comfortably ahead at halftime. It's 43-26 for Pasig City over Parañaque.
Manny Pacquiao is annihilating Oscar De La Hoya. That is the most spectacular one-punch shot of Manny Pacquiao's incredible career. And he fights his way up and goes down again. Straight left hand for Manny. Does he have Colo in trouble? Manny Pacquiao is a storm. Another huge left hand by Pacquiao. Punch after punch after punch. And he got the straight left hand. And there's the punching now. Look at the brilliant accuracy of Manny Pacquiao. Landing with both right and left hands. This is why we use the word sensation.
Back with us here and at the half, Pasig City with a 17-point lead over Parañaque, 43-26. And Pasig City jump out of the gates early with their hot shooting, especially from the outside. And Javi, nakita natin Parañaque, they were able to trim the gap in the second quarter, but Pasig City had that decisive 9-0 run patapos nung second quarter, and they were able to hold the fort and bring the lead back up to 17.
For a while, the bench unit of Pasig City was playing very well. Christian Rivera was making some good plays, and then itong si Rocky Isidre was able to hit some shots. And also, the other guys being able to contribute defensively. Warlo Batak had his imprints in that second quarter. But when the starters came back, that's when Pasig City began to really roar again. And Parañaque had a difficult time of answering with baskets kasi maganda yung naging palitan nila nung stretch na yun at nababa ng Parañaque. And they were even able to force Pasig City into a stretch of misses. That's why Parañaque was able to get the lead down. But when Chito Jaime and company came back in, Parañaque had no answers.
Those are our leading scorers. Chito Jaime with 12, Montuano 7, Isidre 6, and Lester Reyes with 4 points. Jacob Galicia dumagdag na rin para dito sa Pasig. For Parañaque naman, J-Boy Solis, the lone player in double figures with 10, Moralde with 4, Capombres with 3 points, and Alan Mangahas had 2 points, as well as James Mangahas.
You see Pasig right now, they're willing to share that basketball, get it to the open man, looking like a well-oiled machine. It's really nice when you're able to get a big victory in overtime, especially when you already saw how your team was trying to fight back from that deficit that they were in. Bataan was looking very good, especially in that first half and in the third quarter, but Pasig City just refused to let themselves down and tried to really fight back until they forced overtime and got that big victory.
Robbie Manalang getting the steal. Chito Jaime lobs it up to Jacob Galicia. He goes inside but got caught stepping on the baseline. Parañaque, unless they make some drastic changes here, on pace, not even to hit the 60-point mark here. Only 26 points in the first 2 quarters.
Which is practically their average point score this season.
Nasa 61 lang sila eh. As we see Paulo Castro able to cut back door for the layup. 5 on the floor for Pasig. Jacob Galicia, Robbie Manalang, Keith Pido, Lester Reyes, and Chito Jaime. Keith Pido falls down. Yes, his progress impeded there by Alvin Capobres. Check out this assist of the game brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. Your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet.
I think for Parañaque, what they have to work on right now, we already mentioned it earlier, this team is loaded. There are some talented players on this roster. In fact, I think it's a good mix of players who can score. There are role players on this team and players who can do a lot more other stuff on both sides of the basketball. It's just a matter of knowing their roles. Ano ba talaga ang kailangan kong gawin specifically?
This guy, his role is to score. J-Boy Solis with a 3-point play opportunity.
I think it's that confusion that has prevented them from gaining some success in this season, but it's still early. I've mentioned it numerous times. There is a lot of time for them to make up for their mistakes, especially right now that they're turning a new chapter with a new head coach in Coach Stephen Mopera. I'm sure that he would want to get some victories in this stint of his.
Is that John Oduba?
Yes.
Oh, no. He's with Coach Philip De La Cruz. Adjaro John earning some minutes here in the third quarter. Robbie Manalang shakes his head. Oh, the cross! And the sauce, but couldn't put that shot up and down.
Still scoreless in this game with si Robbie Manalang, but Almost the same case against Bataan. Didn't really shoot a lot in the first half. But second half until overtime, he was simply amazing.
17-point advantage for Pasig City. Sorry, actually a 19-point advantage, 47-28. Make that 49-28 in favor of Tropang Pasig.
I believe, Jacob Galicia, he's a guy who's had a lot of quality stints off the bench for Pasig City this year.
Bola mapupunta sa panig. Ulit ng Pasig after the miss. May Allen Papa. "21 points the lead for Pasig. Parañaque busting out a zone. But Pido able to get past Cuevas. Manalang still couldn't find the range here. Galicia gets blocked by J-Boy Solis. But still, 9 seconds sa shot clock ng Pasig City. Keith Pido. No good. Jaime was held up by Allen Papa.
This zone has forced them into misses, but it hasn't gotten them complete stops. They're not able to secure the defensive rebound.
Yun din mahirap pag naka 2-3 zone. Getting those defensive boards. Entry pass broken up. Adjarujan lost control. Probably not a good idea putting the ball on the deck. Instead, Pasig City with a chance to score. Jaime draws closer. Lays it up and in. Chito Jaime.
Almost San Antonio-esque. They move that basketball from right to left. That was a fast break opportunity, but they didn't rush. They were so patient, and they got it to the most open man on the floor. Chito Jaime making that play possible for Pasig City.
Face-up jumper by Solis. No good. Ball bounce off the leg of Lester Reyes. Wait a minute. Yeah, it will stay with Parañaque. Baseline inbound for the Patriots. Almost at the halfway point of the third. Jasper Cuevas. Allen Papa popping out, putting up a three and making it. Much needed basket for Parañaque.
Might be the guy who can spark a run here para sa Parañaque. Seldom used this season, ito si Allen Papa. But you can see that he's a capable shooter.
Paulo Castro off the bounce, stopping his tracks. James Mangahas fires. Back-to-back threes from Parañaque.
Parañaque only had a couple of threes in the first half. Now they already have 2 3-pointers here in the third quarter. And the power of the three-point shot, we know that very well, can really help a team get out of a deficit in a hurry.
Approaching 4 minutes. Quick passing. Jaime traveled. Stop by Parañaque. This was too easy.
Ooh, put on the line though. So it will not be counted as a three-point shot. Did they adjust the score?
Not sure because usually na ina-announce yan ng game announcer eh. So tingnan natin. I think at the moment, it stands as a three-pointer.
Yeah, before I think the dead ball, that's when they get to review these kinds of things. But Robbie Manalang joining in on the party and introducing himself to this Parañaque team, scoreless in the first half. But you know, when things start to get heated up and you need his scoring, Pasig City can definitely lean on Robbie Manalang.
Foul called as Jasper Cuevas drove to the basket. Three-point shot brought to you by Extreme, your one-stop shop appliances. Jasper Cuevas will troop to the line. Former perpetual help standout. Meanwhile, maibalita tayo kay Miss Lyra Punsalan.
It was a surprise call that turned into a big responsibility. Coach Stephen Mopera shared that he was caught off guard when he was asked to take over the reins of the Parañaque Patriots. But it's a challenge he gladly accepted. Hindi ko in-expect at nagulat talaga ako, Coach Stephen admitted. Pero I'm grateful sa opportunity na ito to continue what Coach Mike started and to hopefully bring back the winning culture ng Parañaque. The Patriots have been searching for consistency this season and Mopera knows it won't happen overnight. But with a fresh perspective and a familiar heart for the team, he's determined to rebuild the rhythm. Back to you guys.
Thank you so much, Lyra. And nakita natin si Coach Mike kanina, no? Kanina ko pa siya hinahanap. Nasaan ba siya nakaupo?
Dito sa may likod ng basket ng Parañaque.
Ayun, okay.
Naka-pink.
Naka-pink. Oo nga.
Trying to hide himself from the wary eyes of the camera.
Kaya lang, di siya makakatakas dyan. But nakatakas naman si Alin Papa in the baseline.
He's had 5 points here in this third quarter. Parañaque's been able to generate the offense, but the defense, nakukulangan ako sa effort.
Rocky Sidre. Firing from the outside. Robbie Manalang with his second triple.
Aside from the fact that Pasig City has been able to knock them shots down, it's going for the loose balls that I feel like Parañaque has been lacking effort on. Couple of times earlier where the ball was right in front of a guy in a yellow jersey, but they failed to capitalize on it, so it gave Pasig City another shot. But this was the last play, the very last play for Pasig City, where they set up Robbie Manalang.
J. Solis.
Well, he's been the only guy throughout this game who's been very consistent with his offense.
11 points. This free throw atid sa atin yan ng Extreme Appliances, ang subok at kompletong appliance brand ng Pilipinas. Mark Montuano papasok para kay Lester Tamayo. 59-39. Just like that, we're under 2 minutes remaining here in the third. Keith Pido setting the table for Pasig. Rocky Sidre pupukol sa 3. Yes!
This Pasig City team showing their mettle from the outside. We saw how dangerous they can be from beyond the arc in that game against Bataan, where they were able to knock down a flurry of threes in the fourth quarter and overtime. If they can keep this going, they're going to be a very dangerous team, even against the bigwigs.
Pocket pass. 2 points for Jacob Galicia.
Ang sarap sa mata. The way that they defend, the way that they move the basketball and get it to the open man. Incredible play shown here on the hardwood by Pasig City.
Pass per the game brought to you by Extreme Cool Air Conditioners. Ang Extreme Magpalamig, free installation for split-type air conditioners.
And not forcing anything, seeing the floor well. Kit Pido has always been a very heady point guard and he continues to show it para sa Pasig City.
Oh, technical foul called on J-Boy Solis. He's been having a heated discussion with one of our referees. I believe si Karina Martin.
Actually, kanina pa,
First half pa lang eh.
kanina pa gusto yata magpapalit ng Parañaque ng referee. Do we have a fourth guy?
Yeah.
We do have a fourth guy.
Of course, Coach Emma Oreta, Rudy Distrito, the head of operations and security respectively. Solis, rare miss at the line. His lead has been extended here. Now it's down to 25, 65-40.
Well, if there's one thing that Parañaque is ahead of Pasig City in this game, it's the number of free throws. Already been to the line 12 times in this game. Well, Pasig City only with 5 free throw attempts.
The rebound ends up with Kevin Villaflor. Ganda no sundot ni Keith Pido. Finds his sweet spot, but too strong on that shot.
Yeah, that's going to stay. That was off of Alin Papa. See the way that these white shirts get to the loose ball. There is that conscious effort to try and outrun the guys in yellow in this game.
46 seconds remaining. Rocky Asidre, pocket pass. Mark Montuano, back to Rocky. He's free. It's good.
And that guy gets going, is pretty hard to stop. Hand in the face, no problem. Paluburan kasi yung tira niya eh. Kaya konting espaso lang. Ang ganda ng percentage eh.
Ito yung percentage kanila, no? 8 out of 22. Itong Pasig, just above 33%. 28-point bubble. Asidre continues to fire. That time, a bit short. Cuevas. Keith Pido. Look out, Jacob Galicia. Kala ko sasalpak eh. Just to beat the buzzer.
He wanted to make sure that he was going to get that basket. Didn't allow himself any mistake going for those 2 points.
Highlights of the game at sa atin ng Sip Plus, the official hydration partner of the MPBL. Elevate your hydration.
Chito Jaime picking up from where he left off in that game against Bataan, that 23-point performance. He now has 14 tonight, but the scoring has been spread out pretty well for Pasig City in this game. Almost everybody contributing to this big advantage that they have right now.
Including Jacob Galicia providing a spark off the bench. We head into the fourth quarter, a 30-point lead for Pasig City, 70-40. Back with us here inside the Olivares College Gymnasium in Parañaque City. Gixxer fan of the game, born for greatness. All smiles here.
Despite the home team being down big time.
Yeah. This is now a 30-point lead for Pasig City. And glad to have you with us here on a Tuesday night. Ken Pangilinan ang inyong kasama with Javi Palanya at courtside. We have Miss Lyra Punsalan. As first possession goes to Parañaque. 20-16, 23-10, 27-14. And it's Pasig City written all over it in this one, Javi.
Well, they're rising up to be a really good offensive team here. I don't think it's just because of Parañaque's lack of effort defensively in this game, but they've shown us that they're very much capable of scoring in the high 20s each quarter, and we've seen that here in this game. We saw that against Bataan. As long as the shooting continues for Pasig City, they're going to be very hard to stop.
Just 28% shooting from the field for Parañaque. 5 on the floor for Pasig City. Montuano, who can't hit that shot. Keith Pido, Robbie Manalang, Jacob Galicia, and Rocky Asidre. Teo Timajo, James Mangajas, Lander Canon, Kevin Breñaflor, and Alan Papa, the 5 on the floor. Para dito naman sa Parañaque. That's the specialty of the house for Teo Timajo, that mid-range jumper.
First time I've seen them go back into the triple post offense in this game.
70-42. Pasig, remember they did not play last season. Just came back this year. And prior to that, they had those playoff appearances in seasons 4 and 5. Robbie Manalang was in the thick of that with Ryan Costello, Kenero Acurva.
Well, itong Pasig City, these are one of the franchises in the MPBL that really boast of a good culture, and they're always in here to compete. Boss Buddy and Coronado, yeah, previous team owner of the Santa Lucia Realtors in the PBA, won a championship some championships there. He knows what it takes to really create an atmosphere of winning in a team in professional basketball. And he continues to uphold these kinds of values with this Pasig City team here in the MPBL.
Oh, Allen Papa providing an impact, stealing the pocket of Keith Pido.
I think Pido was caught off guard there, didn't realize that it would just take that easy swipe from Allen Papa to get the ball away from him.
6-0 run for the Patriots. They end up with a stop.
They're really going to have to make a big run in a hurry here. This is a huge lead that they have to overcome.
8 unanswered points for Parañaque. Mark Montuano. No good. Allen Papa with a rebound.
This has got to be a timeout if this is going to be a made basket.
And it is a free. And Coach Aldrin Morante pressing the timeout button. 11-0 blast for the Patriots.
Where was this earlier in the game? Crisp passing, good recognition, and players knocking it down. Their shots, big baskets for Parañaque to try and make a game out of this.
And Parañaque now down by 19. We'll pause for a break. Special deal from 1xBet. Scan the QR code and claim your special offer. Pasig City opened up the fourth with a 30-point lead, which looked insurmountable, but Parañaque, in a span of 3 minutes, came roaring back, cutting this lead down to 19. 62.5% from the field to open up the fourth for Parañaque. 0 of 6 naman itong Pasig City. First appearance of Jerome Garcia, curiously, for Pasig City.
Well, J-Gars doesn't really get a lot of playing time unless Coach Alden really sees that there is a need to have a shot in the arm in terms of their outside shooting and scoring the basketball in general. But those are two things that Pasig City has done well throughout most part of this game, and that's why Garcia rode that bench majority of this match. Pero ngayon na humahabol ang Parañaque, mukhang kailangan ni Coach Aldrin ng spark, and he feels like J-Gars, just like in that game against Bataan, can be that guy.
Warlo Batak comes in. Pasig City has yet to score here in the fourth, and we're almost 4 minutes gone by here. Just a quick stint for J-Gars. Probably could be nursing an injury. That's why that short stint. Meanwhile, Chito Jaime able to go up and under for that basket. Stops that 11-0 run to begin the fourth for the Patriots. Renya Flor. Ganda ng pihit. That shot, a thing of beauty.
Obviously trying to establish his own system. I believe ito si Coach Stephen Mopera dito sa team na to. But now they have gone back to the triangle, a system that Coach Mike Sagigit has started here with the Parañaque. In fact, that's the only system that Parañaque has ever had ever since he's been at the helm.
Play of the game brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. Your choice, your victory, feel more game with 1xBet.
But maybe trying to turn a new leaf and trying to have a fresh start. Wanted to experiment on something new, but going back to the system that they started with to begin the season. which they practiced with more time. I think helping them in this comeback attempt.
Dash Body Encarnado in attendance. As usual, LGR is the official outfitter of the Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League. Pwede pa, actually, for Parañaque. 19 points, 5 and 20 left.
A basket here could trim this down to 17, maybe 16 with a three-point shot. They get a couple of stops and another basket. It's only going to be down to 14, 13 points.
Timaho likes this matchup against Warlo Batak. Gets the basket inside, plus a foul.
This offense has helped them to become more deliberate and less careless with their passes.
Minama sa ilalim ni Deo Timaho but could not sink in the bonus free throw. So this remains a 17-point lead. Timaho ginugulo si Robbie Manalang. Almost got a steal. Now he tries to shackle Keith Pido. Manalang sends it to Chito Jaime. Great challenge but not enough. Chito Jaime able to bury a free.
So all he needed was that game against Bataan, against his hometown team, to rediscover his stroke. Wow. So nice to see Chito Jaime able to knock down shots like that again.
How about this one? Over the outstretched arms again.
Sukat na sukat yan. They're nothing but net para kay Chito Jaime. Beautiful stroke.
This free throw brought to you by Extreme Appliances, ang subok at kompletong appliance brand ng Pilipinas. At one point, Javi, Chito Jaime was shooting 10.8% from that distance.
That's crazy.
And he has rectified that, especially in the last few ball games.
For a guy that's been here since the start, it's just incredible to see that he continues to rediscover himself and continue to rise to a level that we're used to seeing him play at.
North of 40 years old, no problem for Chito Jaime. Robbie Manalang able to escape, gets 2 points off that mid-range jumper.
Yan talaga yung playing style niya, no? Very much of a true point guard. In the first half, he will set up his teammates, will make sure that they are orchestrating well, especially in the half court. But when the fourth quarter comes, it's time for him to score the rock. Ito si Robbie Manalang.
Yeah, leading his team in assists, 5.5 assists per contest, Robbie Manalang. And one game where he had 11 total. You know, he's not just a scorer. Look out, Warlo Batak. Skies high for the lane. Looks like Pasig City has regained its bearings. 3 minutes and 23 seconds to go here in the fourth quarter. And Parañaque looks like they're running out of gas. This is the game brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. Your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet.
Medyo nadulas lang siguro yung bola sa kamay niya. I think he wanted to throw it down.
And had some choice words with Jasper Cuevas. We'll pause for this break. We'll be back after this one. Still here at the Olivares Gymnasium, Chito Jaime, all-around performance, 16 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists. May report si Lyra tungkol kay Papa Cheats.
Age is just a number, and Chito Jaime is living proof. The veteran forward of Pasig City has just been named Player of the Week, and it's a well-deserved recognition after another standout performance, especially in their hard-fought win against Bataan. What makes the feat even more impressive is that Chito played through illness during that game. Medyo nangihina pa ako nun, pero gusto ko pa rin talagang makatulong sa team, and he shared and help he did with timely buckets, strong leadership, and the kind of hustle that inspired his young teammates. Chito Jaime's consistency, heart, and experience continue to be a big lift for Pasig, and as long as he's on the floor, you can bet he's giving it everything he's got. Back to you guys.
Maraming salamat, Lyra. And Probably enjoying one of his finest seasons. Ito si Chito Jaime.
So far, yeah, for sure. May sakit pa siya nun?
Kaya nga eh.
Goodness.
May sakit. Ooh! That's a hard foul given up.
I think that should be an unsportsmanlike foul. No play on the basketball. Really trying to hold him down. Ito si J-Boy Solis. I understand that there may not be an intention to hurt. He just really wanted to prevent a three-point play from happening here, but definitely an unsportsmanlike foul.
Yeah. Immediate in-upgrade na nila, no?
And that's gonna be it for J-Boy Solis.
Oh, 5 fouls.
No, I think he had a technical earlier.
Oh, yeah. That's right. Yes. He had that technical after arguing.
Yeah, with
one-
referee Karina Martin.
Yeah. We will finish this ball game. J-Boy Solis, 13 points, 9 rebounds, almost a double-double. Marlo Batak, still all smiles. 81-59.
He's more than happy that he's getting one up over his former teammate Jasper Cuevas.
22-point lead. Marlo Batak, he tries a free. Ooh, bumalog, palabas. Jasper Cuevas gets it to James Mangahas. Approaching the 2-minute mark. At Charujan. Sablay yung kanyang tira sa labas. With the floor, he tries a free. Still no go. Jaime with a board. Natapik. At nakuha ng Parañaque. Same spot, same result for James Mangahas.
Just a case of just too little too late here for Parañaque. James Mangas, he's heated up here in the second half, particularly here in the fourth quarter. But the lead just too big to overcome right now.
Another foul given up. Jarujan with a foul.
Usually the practice before, for the time when you're in the lead this big, you kind of slow down and just really let things go into motion as you take a look at Boss Buddy and Carnado. But right now I understand that teams, even when they're in the lead this big, they still try to score a lot.
Special deal for 1xBet. Scan the QR code and claim your special offer.
Because they do very well understand that, in the event that ties happen, there's going to be co-shit systems or winner over the other things. They want to get that out of the way and make sure that wala na silang pinoproblema.
Oo. Sa North Division, nangyari yan last season. Involving, I think, teams like Rizal, Quezon City, Valenzuela.
Yeah.
Up until the final week of the elimination round, things were really uncertain. Chito Jaime, the MPBL Player of the Week, having another vintage performance. And as a result, Pasig City looks like they will have another back-to-back victories under their belt. Coach Aldrin Morante at the helm. And unfortunately for Parañaque, they will fall down to 1-8. But Alin Papa, this does not take away from his performance here in the second half, Javi.
This might put some notice into Coach Stephen Mapera's playbook that he could have more playing time for Parañaque in the coming games.
Tido. Oh! The exclamation point to this one!
May pahabol pa!
Nawala tuloy headset ko. Nagulat ako.
That's the first time I've actually seen somebody in the panel lose their headset after a dunk.
Ibang klase naman kasi out of nowhere. And Marlo Batak putting in the, the niyog to the puto bumbong.
And everybody was just lounging around and waiting for the buzzer to sound. And then suddenly, wow, this guy just rises up and slams it home.
And that's gonna do it for this game. My goodness, another look.
Jam there, galing kay Warlo Batak. Something that we anticipated would happen in this game, just not at this point. But definitely something that we welcome. Not gonna say no to that.
And tonight he had 12 points, 4 out of 6 shooting from the field, perfect from the line. Coach Aldrin Morante and the rest of the Pasig City team booking another win here, and very important, especially with a tight race and the team standings up north. And our best player of the game brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. Your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet.
There was no doubt in my mind that Chito Jaime would be player of the game once again, the reigning player of the week, showing out in the first quarter and then continued to put on baskets in the second half. Didn't matter who was in front of him. He did it in a number of ways. Inside, outside, off the bounce, catch and shoot, didn't matter. Chito Jaime, 19 points in this game.
Final score, 85-70. Pasig City winning this one over Parañaque. Let's go courtside to Miss Lyra Punsalat.
Chito, you continue to defy your age. Back-to-back best player at player of the week ka rin sa liga. What keeps you going and performing at this level?
Unang-una nagpapasalamat ako kay God sa binigay niya paano sa amin. Inaalagaan ko lang sarili ko, nag-extra workout ako para kahit pa paano makasabay pa rin sa mga bata.
And speaking sa mga bata, may mga kabataang player na tinitingala ka ngayon. What do you want them to learn from your play and how you carry yourself?
Yun lang, kung meron kayong pangarap sa sarili nyo, focus lang kayo and alagaan nyo yung sarili nyo and magtiwala kayo sa Panginoon. Walang imposible pag kasama natin si Lord.
Any greetings?
Yun ang una, thank you po kay Lord God sa panalong bigay sa amin, sa Metro Muscle, kay Boss Jason Sia, kay Boss Bad Encarnado, binabati ko rin yung wife ko, si Rosan, si Gianna, anak namin, si Mama Pe, si Bono, si Tito Bads, and yung mga kapatid ko, si Ate Christy, Kuya Jay, Ate Ayan, Kuya Chris, Ate Karen, Kuya Jordan, and lahat ng mga pamangkin ko, and sa lahat ng mga taga-Dinlupiang Bataan, sa Tropang RTC, kay Boss Joy ng Parañaque, kay Boss Robert Kai, and Ninang Lai, and shoutout din sa Don J Food House, matatagpuan sa Barangay Zamora, Dinlupiang Bataan. Sa lahat ng mga taga-Dinlupiang Bataan, binabati ko kayo lahat.
Maraming salamat, Chito Jaime of Pasig City. Our best player of the game is brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. 1xBet, your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet. Back to you guys.
Maraming salamat, Lyra. Congratulations to Pasig earning a win over Parañaque. Tomorrow we will be in the City of Life, Alonte Sports Arena in Binyan, Laguna. First game at 4 p.m. Muntinlupa kontra Davao Occidental, followed by the Jensen Warriors. They will take on the Basilan Viva Port Masters. And at 8 p.m., a good one between Rizal and Binyan. And that does it for coverage for today. On behalf of Javi Palanya and Miss Lyra Punsalan, ako po si Ken Pangalinan. Maraming salamat sa pagtutok sa Marliga Pilipinas Basketball League, ang liga ng bawat Pilipino.